there's ice on this. Kind of in the dark, but not right yet. We're going to be servicing our AC system. This particular car is an R134A system, not the new HFC 1234 or whatever, or HFO rather, not that. But just quickly, the low side's over there, keeps on freezing up. So I'm thinking I have moisture in the system. Because last time had a leak from O-ring, maybe it didn't boil all out. So we're gonna go recover it with our AC machine, but first I'm just going around while the system's still charged and looking around with the UV light to see if anything's glowing, and it's not really glowing, that's just residual. See, if you hit stuff with a UV light, you'll see that it turns that green color. That's just residual. It's always gonna be a little bit in your cap, because when you hook up your AC lines to it to service or hoses, it's always gonna, a little bit's gonna come out. So that's normal. Nothing in the back, and the evaporator. Yeah, I redid all this in October. A new AC compressor, a new dryer, all new O-rings, new orifice valve, stock condenser, because the compressor didn't lock up, and evaporator was left in. So let's go to work. We gotta get this thing. You gotta service your AC. You're gonna need recovery equipment, which we have, luckily. They make those little handheld ones too for your house, and you get a recovery tank. They kind of look like that, but they got 2 valves on them. I think you can use that to recover as well. And then just get a vacuum pump and a scale and a tank, and you're alright. So let's see if this thing still works. I hope so. The warranty's expired yesterday. And hook it up. Alright, still turns on. That's promising. Now you have your low and your high side hoses. The low side has a different fitting than the high side. Put this light on, I can see a little better. Woo! Low side's usually short and fat, and the high side's short and fat, and the low side is skinny and long. Caps are the same size usually. Again, I checked that valve core. That core was fine. On a GM, you have a serviceable valve core in your low side, and the whole high side valve just unscrews with a special socket. Always stand behind the valve. Don't stand over here and hook it up, because if this stuff shoots you in the face, it's not good. So get behind it, and then that's just a little collar you just pull, and then tighten the thumb screw. Pulled back. I'm not going to tighten them yet. I do it all when both are connected, and then let's get our high side on. Should have rotated this line a little bit more this way when I had it apart, because it is tight. Alright, let's tighten down our thumb screws like that. Don't gotta go crazy with them. You hear it? That's fine. I don't do it all the way. Lines around, routed nice correctly. Cramped condo garage. Hopefully you have more room than this. We're going to do a recover. Open it. It's recovering our refrigerant. Easy like that. You see our pressures. The higher the temperature outside, the higher the static pressure is going to be. It's around like 90 now. The cooler it gets, the lower it gets, the hotter it is outside. It could even get close to 100 here. Nice hot. So we gotta wait for that thing to do its thing. And it's working. Going to our internal storage tank. We can watch the numbers go, if it even recovers anything. Maybe it's blocked up and this thing's broken. No, it's gone. 1 ounce. Why you should buy your own AC machine? Because if you live in a place like this where it's extremely hot, if I was just on my little run in this car and I had no AC, I would have been like going nuts. So whatever these things cost is worth it. Or some sort of recovery piece. 10 ounces. See, you're getting close too when someone's done. When you keep watching the pressures go all the way down to nothing, or the negatives. and then like you really gotta wait like 4 or 5 minutes after that if you had like a little recovery machine, and then you know you got everything out. So we're still going. See what comes out. I think it's low on refrigerant. That or has moisture, I don't know. Maybe last time I charged it, it didn't take all the refrigerant that I was machine, you know, I didn't get a full charge on it, who knows. It could happen. We've covered a pound so far. Still going. Takes 1 pound, 12 ounces. And now it does a countdown and it reaches a little under 0. 1 pound, 1 ounce. I'm walking away. Now you just wait. So boring and slow. 4, 3, 2, 1. What do we get out of this thing? 1 pound, 10 ounces. That's not so bad because it recovers like 95% of the refrigerant. So I would say that our system is not leaking. I would say that we just had moisture. That's my thought. Let's see if we get any oil out of this thing. Maybe we'll get some oil because we just ran this thing. Maybe this thinks it's broken. There's some like Ford truck kid on YouTube has one of these machines too. I should really go ask him if his ever recovers oil. Mine just recovers a couple drops. You're gonna hear it in a minute go psh. There we go. Like nothing ever comes out. Just a little dribber jabber. This is real fascinating when you have something like this. You're just like, ooh, what's it gonna do next? Maybe like some balloons will pop out of it or something. So when this is done, we'll be pulling a vacuum. Oh wow, look, like nothing comes out. I don't know. Alright, that's cool. Then you yes. We're gonna pull a vacuum on this bitch. 10 minutes. We're gonna do more than 10. We're gonna do at least a half an hour. Make this thing run red hot. Breaker vacuum pump made in China. RU. See, shops don't do this. They usually do 10 or 15 minutes because their time is money. Half hour is excellent. 30 minutes. See, there's already a vacuum on the system because we recovered it, so it's actually going to suck down faster than if you would. If the system, like you open it for service and you had the lines open, there's going to be atmospheric pressure in there, like air, so it's going to take a little bit longer for it to suck down. They actually say with this machine, you could just, it pulls it down enough, you can just pull the stuff out. If you're not changing anything, charge it back up, so it automatically pulls the vacuum on it. But I don't know about that. I'm pulling a vacuum. I said I think I had moisture when that O-ring was leaking around the receiver dryer. I heard the oven beeping. Vacuum complete. Gauges are not moving. Probably don't have a leak. We gotta go charge it up now. So we're going to close this. We're going to press any key exits. Charge. What does this thing take? 1 pound, 12 ounces, right? Let me go check. You should have a label underneath your hood. Sometimes it's on the dryer. Sometimes it's on the radiator support. Sometimes it's up on the hood. Sometimes you got nothing listed. What do we got? 1 pound, 12 ounces. Yes. Alright. Just making sure. Sometimes your scale or machine, it's in tenths of a pound. You can change it. Let's charge. Start to begin. Charging with the low side open only, and the high side valve is closed. You probably could do both, but I never do. Vacuum pump? No. Oil looks good. Who knows? Could be moisture. Could be that switch. If it does it again, I'm going to be changing that switch out, or at least trying to test it. Alright. Says it's charged. Press start to equalize the hoses. Disconnect the high side hose. Open panel valves. We got to disconnect the high side hose off the car. It's hot. As you see, sometimes the oil comes off the cap. Now, start the car. AC on max. Bam. And then you turn this off. And then you disconnect everything. Yeah, kind of working. This thing clears its hoses. I don't know. That thing's all back together. Now we're gonna get a thermometer, and we're gonna run this thing around and see if it freezes up. So far, after a couple minutes, we're getting to the 52s, which isn't really that impressive at idle. But I think it's a dry day. Usually on a dry, I'm not sure how it works on a dry day. The vent temp kind of sucks. The more humid it is, it seems like it's colder than it usually is. Let's see what it is driving down the road. Well, there comes the brake lights. You all gotta ride their ass. Typical Florida drivers. Alright, after our test run, look at that. No frost. Compressor cycles too. That's a good sign. Still not frosting. Got some weird buzzing noise underneath this thing. Something like I don't know. Looks like it has roller rockers, but it doesn't. Yeah, not freezing. I think we're okay. Put this piece of junk away. 46, it sucks. I want colder.